Yeah, you're seeing this right. Crash Bandicoot was a lot different in Japan. And there's a good reason for that. So we'll get into that. Crash Bandicoot, when he was being localized to Japan, had to go through a bunch of changes. It did not appeal to some of the higher-ups of Sony of Japan, and of course, there had to be some design liberties. As such, Crash was designed to look a bit more cutesy and goofy on the box art, and there are some other differences with the Japanese versions of Crash Bandicoot. However, we'll talk about those when we get to that, because there are a lot of differences with this game. As such, you can already see that the password feature is not on this version. But I'm not alone for this. I have a guest with me. Say hello.
Hello.
Introduce yourself.
You only told me to say hello, damn it. You didn't tell me anything else.
As you can tell...
So I'm Plow. I'm just Giga's friend. I'm just here because he needs a commentator.
Yeah. Anyways, as you can tell, there's Japanese dubbing, and this version of the game already has like things localized to be in kanji and stuff like that. Probably katakana. I don't know my Japanese stuff. I'm just pointing out lots of differences with this. Of course, this should be like posted like before the melting pot run should be up, though things could be changed or something like that. But yeah.
So are you watching Americanized anime now?
No, what we're watching is a Japan dub of a cartoon. Anyway.
Oh, for God's sakes.
There's another new thing with the Japanese version. There are aku hints. While those are nice, they can be a detriment because you want to stop in place whenever you get an aku mask. Like that would provide a hint, because if you don't, well, you're going to be playing with fire, because you may end up falling down a pit. As such, this version of the game is a lot easier than the other versions of Crash Bandicoot, and we'll get into those reasons.
How much easier is this though?
You have a bit of a safety net with getting the box gems. And this is the de facto version for speedrunning for 100% in Crash 1 Original.
Then how do they deal with the mask hints?
The mask hints will tell you hints about the game, about the environment, stuff like that. I know all the levels are different in Japan. Those level titles have been translated in Bandipedia. There are other Crash Bandicoot sources I do recommend looking up. And yeah, this is going to be another 100% playthrough that I abridged to 5 parts. And these will be the last parts of the Crash Bandicoot Let's Play that will go up. The prototype parts should be up before then, and yeah.
And what is wrong with you?
Hey, I recorded all of this back in December, and I decided that I might as well like show off as much as I can.
Are you mad? Are you insane?
Plum, that's not going to be until like very far down the Crash retrospective, assuming I can get...
Also, is that life being there new?
What life thing?
In the one bridge.
Oh. I think that's always been there. Anyways, of course, I get the gem on Insanity Beach on my first try. 1 down, 25 to go. And yes, if I'm correct, I'm gonna have to look this up, but Crash Japanese voice actors. I believe Crash Bandicoot is Japanese voice actor. Oh shoot, the name escapes my mind. I know I see 3 of the voice actors, but I know Japanese Crash is voiced by a female. And in this version of the game, there are a lot more voice clips from Japanese Crash aside from just whoa. And some of them just sound pretty hilarious, such as when you get hurt, or when you get hurt with a mask on, and yeah.
Oh, so we're not gonna get the
That'll be up sometime after all this.
Yeah, because I want people to see how much I died because of that.
Oh yeah, it is possible to skip the green gem platforms for this in Japanese speedruns. I have seen a world record speedrun of 100% Crash 1. I would like to see a documentary on Crash speedruns if possible, or at least CTR speedruns, but that's beside the point. This game has a bit of a safety net. It was made easier, but I think Crash got the better treatment of the Japanese Japanese localization, because the Spyro localization was so butchered that the third game never got out in Japan. And as you can already tell, this is the Japanese bonus stage theme. And it sounds a bit more video gamey, of course. And there were several themes that were changed to fit with Sony's to fit Sony's satisfaction. Like, they need to be more video gamey, and some of these themes are actually really good. You can always trust Josh Mansell. He does have a lot of pre-console.
So he composed new themes for the Japanese version.
Yeah, I don't know.
Also, with that new animation for Tana, is the implication is that she's a hologram?
Well, it's more so to me. It's more so that don't.
Good job, but at least you can die here.
Yeah. Besides, but it's more so that it's just I don't know what's the reason, but it's basically to make sense why are we trying to rescue Tana when she's right there in the bonus stages? At the very least, Insane Trilogy does fix that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
also,
yeah, even if you die in a level, you still get the box tally. So, as long as you're before the first checkpoint, you can still get the box gem even if you die.
What about the color gem levels? Do you still have to do a no death run, or can you die in the gem levels in this?
Yes,
version?
you can die in the gem levels.
So why didn't Insane Trilogy do that if they took most of the quality of life changes from the Japanese version?
Maybe to still have that challenge factor there. I mean, trying to stay alive for the color gems is a pretty valid challenge. Also, this is how you're supposed to get that life. I butchered this in the NPC playthrough. I will. Actually, no, I did not butcher that in the NPC playthrough. I didn't show it because I didn't know it before that, and because I recorded that before my Let's Play of Crash 1. I should be working on those RAWs next. How many times? I don't know how many times I'm gonna mention that. Ugh.
Careful.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that Aku was telling you, look at that sparkle effect still in there. Oh, now it's gone. Anyway, I think Aku was telling you that if you collect 3 of him, you will gain temporary invincibility. That or you don't. That or you gain 3 Tanamas. I didn't like. I think most of the Aku hints have been translated on Bandipedia and such. And Crash would have this voice for pretty much the entirety of the entirety from say Night Dog era to the point where Konami of all people stopped publishing the games in Japan. Like European and US markets still got Crash games like, say, Mind Over Mutant and Crash the Titans, but Konami's the very last, if I'm correct, the very last games that Konami was willing to publish was probably Crash Boom Bang. The less said about that game, the better.
Yeah, but wasn't that made by Dimps though?
Yeah, it was. By the way, speaking of bonus stages, there are some Japanese exclusive bonus stages. Like, I'm not talking about the unused bonus stages found in the American version. No, there are brand new bonus stages in this version.
Are they easier or harder?
They're varied. They're only it's only Tana stages that they're new in the market. Yeah, you see how big that freaking area is. I think it's very hard to just be able to skip the warp in this. Yeah,
Mm.
and because only one box falls on Crash as opposed to every single box, if you miss some of them, it makes going for 100% on Crash 1 speedruns like more optimal, because if there's an area where you can't get a gem, you only have to worry about one box falling on you as opposed to like say 33 or something. And there's a good reason why I don't show off me missing every single box in Castle Machinery, is that it's not going to be just as entertaining because only one box falls on Crash and not 33.
So this is
Or
a, so this is a change they made. Just because of I want to say the Japanese culture, they don't like being taunted like that.
it's probably to make it a little less violent or something like that.
Mm,
Like a little less punishing or something.
mm. Yeah, because you already know why Crash was still the more successful Sony title at the time.
Yeah.
Because
And
despite the game being in 3D, it still has the design philosophies of a 2D game.
yeah. I mean in some cases this like Crash doesn't only take platforming stuff from the likes of say Sonic or Mario. There are some Donkey Kong aspects, oddly enough. I think that was one of their inspirations.
Mm-hmm.
Da-dan! I love that. By the way, I get all of Island 1 in this one video.
Jesus Christ, Giga, chill.
I will not chill. Say what the freaky dev times of Nitro Fueled. I will get those wheels.
Yeah, because as of this recording, I just beat all of the dev ghosts. My thumb still hurt.
Oh yeah, here's another difference. Some of the platforms in these creek levels, they're made bigger.
Huh. So that's why it looked weird?
Yeah, like in the US version, like if I was playing on the US, those platforms would look much smaller, but now they're much bigger. Like I think now looking at it, I think those lily pads are much bigger too.
Yeah. Also, are the fish different, or is it just me?
It's probably just you. I will tell you that in the prototype, there's some collision weirdness with the logs. And speaking of prototypes, hopefully at the time of this video going up, the CTR August 5th prototype should be up, and I'd be happy to play that. But that's besides the point. There's like a bit of collision weirdness that adds like some sort of gap, and you could actually fall through it and die in that gap.
Hmm.
But yeah, a lot of things have been upscaled for the better. And yeah, I think I already know what to call this part. A localization trip, localization plane trip or something. It and yeah, it's like we're flying somewhere without even needing to fly or go outside. And that will date the video. You know the the hysteria that's going on.
Yeah,
And
don't say it, or else you're gonna.
yeah,
Well, you're not monetizing.
I'm not monetizing my videos because I don't think I'd be able to monetize them anyway, even if I do have the
Because of the prerequisites that I don't like. But
yeah, like that's why I opened up stuff like donation pools and coffees or something like that. So in case people want to have their names in like credits of a video, if I ever start putting those there as just more of a thanks. But there are also some other changes with this game, such as gem placements and.
Oh, Hog Wild? Are we going to Hog Wild now?
No.
Oh.
By the way, I know people say that Papu Papu's a joke. I never have an easy time with him. Don't freaking
Is
fire.
that what?
Yeah. Papu Papu has 5 hits instead of 2. You may think that was the thing added with Insane Trilogy. No, it was added with the Japanese version. And boy, do I die a bunch of stupid times here.
Yeah,
What a
good
perfectly
job.
timed death. But it's just like, I never have an easy time with him. He's supposed to be the easiest boss of the bunch, a joke, but his collision is so weird. Trying to jump on top of him, it's just weird.
Well, can you not spin onto him?
No, you cannot spin into him. You'll just be spun away. I think I do show me getting spun away. Also, for some reason, I was standing on him. I do not, like I saw for a split moment. But I just have like a bunch of idiotic deaths here. Oh! And I remember in the NPC playthrough where I actually died to him upon defeating him. And boy, does he go super fast. Don't!
Ugh.
Smack!
Is that another? Is that something that's also in the Insane Trilogy version, or is he still the same slow speed?
I'm pretty sure he's probably the same slow speed, but I don't know why I have the hardest time with this boss. Like I've said, I shouldn't have the hardest time, but I just do. At the very least, we get to listen to more of Papu Papu's boss theme because it's a really good boss theme for how short it is. Like, it's the kind of short where you can forget about it, where you forget how repetitive it is because every part of it is unique. And I think
Is this a Japanese theme, or is it just the same normal theme?
It's the same normal theme. We do not get to the Japanese boss themes until Koala Kong.
Huh.
Oh! Do I get this? Do I get this? Yes I do.
There we go.
Get out of the way.
So why is Papu Papu so thick?
Do you really want to ask that question in my Let's Play?
Yes. You gotta make it interesting somehow.
And you say I'm insane.
Well, you are, because how many times have you recorded this damn game?
Several. And in fact, at the time of this video, I do have RAWs of the Insane Trilogy recorded for Melting Pot.
Yeah,
and
you truly are insane.
And I'll probably record Warped sometime. But, of course, I want to focus on other projects. Like, I have level packs to make, and of course, I'm going to be focusing on stuff like getting like projects I've been wanting to record for a very long time now, and there should be one coming up pretty soon, and I should finally be able to record the sequel to it once that's done and out of the way. Anyways, as per usual, there's a Brio token on the side, and there's a 1-up in the middle. Anyways, get out of the way, like that. Not the cleanest, but yeah. Anyways, the one thing I wanted to get to earlier, but forgot the name of, the voice actress for Crash, in Japanese Crash 1 is Kappei Yamaguchi. I apologize if I get that wrong. She was she's Crash in this game, and she's done a bunch of voices in lots of animes, including Ranma Half and Yu Yu Hakusho, of all things. Like, she's voicing.
So for how many games does she voice Crash for?
In terms of games, there's a lot. Let me see. Crash 1, Cortex Strikes Back, Warped, Team Racing, Bash, Wrath of Cortex. Let me see.
Is she still voicing Crash all the way into Nitro Fuel? Because a lot of the original Japanese voice actors for the series reprised their roles for Nitro Fuel.
Apparently not. I do not see a Crash Team Racing Nitro Field on this list. However, she is the voice of QNC, or Quincy, in Sonic Boom, Shattered Crystal, and Rise of Lyric. I'm not kidding.
In Japan?
Yes.
Huh.
And of course, she's Red 13 in the Final Fantasy VII remake. Huh. She was also Fake Crash in Wawa in Japan. She voiced the water elemental that was voiced by Arlie Ermy in the US version.
Huh.
So, in the US, we have a drill sergeant, but in Japan, we have Crash's Japanese voice actress yelling at herself.
Jeez.
Nothing beats interesting commentary like some added trivia.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I'm about to get to the Brio token stage, and I believe I do this on my first try. And I don't think I do think I showed this in the NPC run. Yeah, that's one thing I forgot to mention. The TNT crates are have bomb icons on them as a better indicator of showing that that's actually TNT and not like something different.
Also, was that bonus theme changed or no?
No, it's the same.
Okay.
Like the Cortex and Brio stages are the same. It's Tana and the boss theme starting from Koala Kong that are different.
Were you about to say Koala Carnival?
We're not playing Nitro Field yet. That's probably not going to be until like many years down the line. Anyways, now we're at Hog Wild, and if I'm correct, the green gem is moved here.
Okay, good. He still does the winks.
Of course, of course. Like Crash has to do the winks, and as you can tell, you know how much I prefer controlling this to Insane Trilogy's Hog. Like I love Insane Trilogy, but I just only have very few issues with it.
Yeah, but I don't mind Insane Trilogy's Hog because it doesn't feel as erratic.
But me, I can get used to it, and in the European version, this is a difference with with the Hog. The Hog actually had its speed fixed. Like I know there's some other differences to the European version, and I missed the freaking box, and of course I die soon after.
Or not, because you're somehow still avoiding everything.
Like, I think I die around, here. Yeah.
That took forever. Let me guess, you want to restart the whole level. You're still used to that, weren't you?
Yeah. It's just, there's some boxes, it's just like, you really have to make sure you get them, and believe me, and, I'm pretty sure a lot of you who are viewing this after I covered the prototype episodes didn't know how different and how brutal Hog Wild was in the E3 demo of the game.
Oh, so you get the color gem here right away?
Yeah, and I know there's I know you also get the red gem much earlier too.
So does that mean you're gonna backtrack?
Considering the time of this video, I think I do backtrack. But
why aren't you backtracking?
Because I wanted to get done with Island 1 first. And we are now at Native Fortress, which again I do cover much earlier twice. Because I do get the red gem much earlier than usual. Like, you'd get the red gem at Island 3, but there is something different with Island 3 that we'll get to in part 2 of the Japanese playthrough. And
Island 3 or Island 2?
Well, yes, but there is a level in Island 2. I believe I want to say it's called Wumpa Island canonically. And that's because, like, in the Japanese version, 2 levels had their position swapped due to one being much harder than the other. And as such, there's also a there's like the red gem has been moved from that level to another, so that way you can do levels like Road to Nowhere on your first visit, rather than having to go to Slippery Climb and then going all the way back to Road to Nowhere.
Hmm.
And those levels have been made much easier in the Japanese version, especially the high road, because the high road is much shorter in the Japanese version. And
Wait, did they actually cut the level in half?
no, Plum, they did not do to the level.
Then what did they do to the level?
They just made the ending part of it way shorter. Like you don't have to hop on a bunch of turtles that are on their backs over pits. You don't have to try to perform precise platforming over ice platforms. It's just you just once you beat a certain point, like the ending is like you approach the ending much earlier.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, you can jump on the monkeys. I don't know why I jumped on them. I did record like these Japanese RAWs back in December and didn't edit them until until right now.
Good job.
But I was busy. But
Yeah, you're always busy. Good job.
I don't know how I went in between them, but I did. I guess we're not seeing the end of that stage.
Yeah,
Not like it
you
matters.
held right too much.
Yeah. This is something I miss doing in Insane Trilogy. It's much harder to do this in Insane Trilogy. Ugh. And boy, do I hate doing these trying to jump on these in the middle sections. And speaking of why I never go for the one mask in in those sections, like in Crash 1, if you're if you pick up your third mask, you stop in place until you fall, like you don't get any control. Yeah, I think they blocked that off. I don't know. Unless I'm not sure, but I wasn't able to get past that, so I had to do actual platforming. But I'm not sure if it's different in Insane Trilogy, but like if you're in the air and you pick up that third mask, you're losing a lot of time of invincibility. I am not sure how to accomplish that. You're losing a lot of time of invincibility, and you're not going to be able to move until Crash touches the ground. And that's why when I have two invincibility masks, I don't want to go for that third one when it's like right in a section like that. And boy, for being the last and hardest version of the gate levels, this one definitely does does its work. And as you can see, we're not going to be able to go there until Island 2 instead of Island 3. Like, we're not going to be able to go there until earlier in the game, and not at the very end of the game and such. And of course, because it's a vertical section, I'm gonna have a hard-ass time trying to get up to the one point. Like, with proper experience in this game, with proper experience with this game, I max out my lives in no time. Like, oh yeah. Watch this.
For God's sakes. Do you still wish they would have added that one platform in the center and then moved the goal?
Yeah. Because I did that once in a failed take for a melting pot commentary, and it's just like I was so frustrated. I was like, no, I'm going to do this right. Anyways, I'm going to backtrack all the way to Jungle Rulers. I believe this is Jungle Rulers, and I just cut straight to it. Nothing feels good than just running into boxes. Yeah, you can see how early I'm able to get this. I don't have to go to the Lost City and get it. But yeah, for the most part, I do just cut to where the gem platform is.
Mm-hmm.
But And as such, I just make this playthrough go on much faster. Part 1 is not as heavy with edits as Part 2 or any other parts, because like I do have to edit a lot more fluff out with the later levels, because later levels do get harder.
But I thought you said you've played this game like 8 times already.
I have. But yeah, we already have our 4th gem, and it's only Part 1. Anyway, next time we meet, we'll be beginning Wumpa Island. Until then, we'll see you then. As soon as the camera pans to Wumpa Island. And there it is.